thumbnail. That one looks good. Nice, we're live. Another live session today. Got lots to talk about today. Jeez, a lot of stuff happening. Wow, I look a little bit like the singer of Static X before he died. Yeah, the hair up there. Today, no Monster Bull. Let me just open this one. Okay, new hair. Yeah, Joshua, Nicholas are in the live stream. Thanks for watching, guys. So today we have, I don't know what it is, but it's, I think you guys in UK know what it is. I think this is a British product. It's pretty good. It's sort of an energy drink. It's pretty nice. Burping. You have issues with burping, dude. What's up with the burping, Nicholas? I'm sorry. It's the burping is I don't know. It's a gift. It's a gift from God. Hey, Sulphur City, how are you doing? How are you doing? Shall I call you by your real name or shall I call Sulphur City Foundry? You decide. Thanks for watching, guys. So today talking a bit about lightsabers. Saberforge, kyberlight, Ripper blades. Just uploaded the video for Ripper blades today. Bit of a controversy in relation to kyberlight, so I thought maybe we can have a little bit of a discussion about it. It's a little bit of a retrospective and a little bit see what your points and views are on that topic. Same for Saberforge with that whole banner, the video that I made yesterday, because I got a whole bunch of good feedback about. I mean, a lot of people will say they're in either boat. There's either like against Saberforge, or they say, well, these are business practices being practiced everywhere throughout any industry. It's not uncommon, and just delve into it a bit. Look, nectar of the gods. Yeah, it's not bad. It smells. In Holland, we have something called Fanta. It smells like that. But this is like a blueberry version of it. So it's not bad. Let me take a sip, and then Nicholas saying something. Yes, that's correct, Nicholas. I will mostly have clean, nice videos, but that will mainly be for the videos where I'm not live streaming, because the funny thing is everything that you do on YouTube most of the time is edited, and all the good bits are in the video, all the bad parts are cut out. So when you do a live stream, that person you see in the videos sometimes or most of the times is a little bit different. They're a little bit more awkward and more antisocial, more quiet, more this or that. And I'm no different. I'm burping. But you don't see that back in the other videos. The greatest of all time, dudes, you're back. Nice. We're gonna talk about gay stuff again. I guess the whole live chat about buttholes and whatnot. Nicholas says Fanta is awesome. We have it in Peru. Yes, Fanta. I love it, man. Actually, my favorite drink would be ice lemon tea with bubbles from Lipton Ice. I love it, but they don't sell it here in Hong Kong. They only sell the regular version, which is without bubbles, and it's not that good. So let me start a little bit before we're gonna talk about all the drama going on. A little bit of a retrospective of the Saber Core. I've been playing with the Saber Core 3.0 for well over a week now, and there's some things about it that I really like about the soundboard, and some things that I'm not so happy about. One thing that's good is the sensitivity when you swing it around, but at the same time, it's also overly sensitive, and it really affects spinning. Like the spinning sounds are pretty bad, in my opinion. But for the rest, it's really not bad of a soundboard. I have to say, it's yeah, it's decent. It's decent. The only thing I really miss is the mute function. There's no mute function, but I fixed that by doing something, which I will show in a future video. so you can do it to yourself if you that want to try that out as well. Nicholas says, I'm gonna steal your saber. Yeah, this saber is this is really nice. This is one of my babies. So this is also the same saber that I just gonna, I mean, I made a video earlier where I always like talked about being on the fence of using the lightsabers in order not to scratch them or damage them. This is not one of those sabers. This one will be just used, and I don't really care if this one scratches up or not, because I still have 4 really lovely Saberforge Gladius V1s. And for Royson, I will do also a video comparing it to the old Gladius, so you can see what are the difference between the new Gladius and the old Gladius. Hello, focus. And it's actually quite significant, the differences. So that's it was an eye-opening. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, are you guys doing anything specific this weekend? What's going on for you guys? Any new lightsabers coming? Because I have some really good news. So 7 Chambers has sent to me the sorry, the oh, now I forgot the name. Imperial Knight. I'm sorry, it's after work. I'm a bit tired. The Imperial Knight. So I'm really excited for that, because it's a collaboration between 7 Chambers and Romans, perhaps Phoenix props. So that's really cool. Really high end interpretation of the Imperial Knights from the old canon, now non-canon Star Wars. 7 Shadows say, hey, how you doing? I don't think I can do screen sharing with the YouTube live stream, so that is one downside, but I wanted to show you the Imperial Knight lightsaber from 7 Chambers, but no worries, I will show that in my next video. Soon I will be unboxing it and do the full review. Also, good news from Saberforge, they gave me the notification by email that the 9 or 10 Saberforge sabers that I ordered are now going to be shipped out and are underway to me in Hong Kong. So hopefully somewhere early next week I will get that box and can start doing the unboxing videos and whatnot. So that's good stuff. Also, since I re-imaged my windows on my computer, I did not have any issues with the hacker anymore. So no more bad commenting you will see back on my channel. I did some security measurement, installed some antivirus, some more software firewalls. So hopefully I'm pretty safe for now. But yeah, that was quite scary that my account was being abused by other people. But yeah, so a lesson learned there. Nicholas says, tell me you got another heretic. No, I'm sorry I have to disappoint you. I already did the heretic review. I got a whole bunch of new Saberforge sabers that I have not reviewed before. Because I really try to aim to first get the lightsabers that I've not owned before, so I can do a review video on it. But in the case of the Saberforge Gladius, there's a little bit of exemption where the Gladius is just my personal all-time favorites from Saberforge in terms of lightsaber design, and might be my all-time favorite hilt design together with the Kanan Jarrus lightsaber. So, yeah. Sorry. Joshua's asking for the list. Now, I don't know the full list from the top of my head, but what we got in there, let me try to dig my memory. It sounds really bad, but I genuinely forgot for the most stuff what I ordered. Okay, here we go. A Shoto Acolyte, a Shoto Bastion. No, Shoto. Gosh, at least two more Shotos. I forgot. Oh, I'm sorry. And then we got the Prodigy. We had the Prodigy. We have the. It's not going well for me. The Eminent, the Adamant. Yes, that's correct, right? With the gold accents. That one is I'm very curious about. And then a whole bunch of other ones. Of course, I cannot remember any of them. Oh, the Ronin, because I wanted to have a heavy dueling Saberforge saber. So I thought that would be a perfect lightsaber to get me into dueling. I got the 16-inch version with the Tsuba, in nulled gray weathering. So yep. Sulfur City Foundry is asking, did you get the Nova? No, I did skip on the Nova for now because it didn't really fully appeal to me. Sorry, the design is not really appealing to me as much as some of you guys have. But for me, it didn't really draw me into it. But I did get some other, the Renegade. I got also the Saberforge Renegade, and what are the other names? Arbiter, Shoto Arbiter, and I'm still missing a few. Yeah, you guys will see it. Sorry, I forgot. You guys will see it. Let's see some more questions here. Seven Shadows. I was wondering if I'm 5.5 feet. How long should my blade be? That's pretty tall, right? 5.5 feet is pretty tall. 32 inch, 28 inch. You want to do a ton of spinning? Yeah, for spinning, I like 28 inch, but I'm generally like 28 inch. I don't know how much I am in inches, but in centimeters, I'm 1.76 centimeters. So I'm not really long. They call it a manlet. So I'm a manlet in terms of my length, but I do like my shorter blades. And that's funny thing is in Asia here, because most guys are more of my length. There's definitely tons of exceptions, long Chinese here as well, but in general they're more or less my length. And in general they're also in between the 30 inch 32 inch blade length max. That is the preferred length here, and that is by Sabermach. They actually make their lightsabers more for this part of the continent where people are just my length. So it's funny. Yeah, I know. I'm tiny. That's the funny thing, right? Like, you always think those YouTubers or the people you see on TV, they think, oh, these must be massive, and then you see it in perspective with other people, or you see it sometimes with something else, and you think, wow, these are actually very small people. So I'm probably tiny as well. Yes, 176 centimeters. Sorry, that's correct. I was confused with my dick, I guess. anyway, let's not go that road. Sulfur is saying, have you seen the facelift Sentinel and Oracle? They seem to be shipping the new versions, but images on Saberforge website are not updated yet. Yes, I saw the new Oracle, which has the emitter is no longer slanted. One angle's higher than the other side. They're now the same, and they have like a nicer window design, which I really like. I like them more because the original Oracle I was not really a big fan of because of the way the emitter looks like, but now it's like on the same level. I think it really looks really nice. For the Sentinel, the Sentinel, is that not the wrapped acolyte? That's the wrapped acolyte, right? Or I'm now confused. Or is the Sentinel the counterpart of the Oracle, but then just with the wrapping? Because I believe the Oracle by default always have the leather wrapping. So sometimes it confuses me with Saberforge. They have the same hilt with or without wrapping, but have a different name for it. That is one thing I want to say about Saberforge. I get a little bit confused with the naming conventions, because this is called the Cyphos, right? But the original Gladius, where this was based off, was called Gladius, and then you had a V1 and V2. A V1 was this finish, and then V2 was the weathering finish. But now it's called V1 because it's the old version 1. And then you have the 2015 Gladius, which is now still called Gladius on the website, just the Gladius. And then you have the Cyphos, which is this. But what is the old Cyphos then? Is that the Cyphos V1? Because this is the Cyphos V1, because the weathering finish is V1. So a little bit confusing at times. But oh well, it is what it is. Nicholas says, okay, then I'm 2 meters and 5 centimeters. How long should my blade be? Wow, then you're a tall guy. For the thing is, I think the blade length should not be in correlation of your own personal length. The reason why I say that is because the hilt and the basically the longer the blade get, the more top heavy it gets, and it just doesn't feel that right when it's in a hilt like this of length, because most of the hilts are between what this is a small hilt. This is 10.5 inches, but most hilts are around between 11 and 14 inches. And the longer the blade get, doesn't not relation to your own length. It just doesn't really feel that great because you got more weight, wobble on the blade, and it gets more top heavy. So I think just comes down on what your own personal preference is. But the longer the blade, I would say it just negatively impacts the handling of the hilt because you have two pieces coming together, and I feel that is not great. New Oracle, gotta find it. Yeah, I didn't see it. No, not it's the Wrapped Arbiter. Yeah, so the Sentinel is the Wrapped Arbiter. Okay, so I have to say I always loved the Saberforge Arbiter, and I kind of regret I sold mine. But the new one looks really good, and I'm gonna probably get it, but I didn't get it for dispatch with lightsabers because I thought I already reviewed an Arbiter, and this is an updated version. Yes, it looks nice with the new grenade section. Actually, it looks very good. But I thought let's first focus on the other Saberforge sabers, and then going back to a little bit of a personal precedence. But with the Nova, I just didn't feel. Sorry guys, I just have no connection with it. I look at the Nova and I think, yeah, it's just not my design. I don't know. But I'm probably going to review it in one point or another. But Joshua says, why is that some of my Facebook and YouTube videos are just black images? I have audio but no picture. Don't know. You might have to look into Flash. A lot of these kind of embedded video players still rely on Flash, or sometimes Silverline, Microsoft Silver thing. I forgot the name. But you might have to look at that first. There might be something related to it. And try another browser. Try to use Google Chrome, Face, or for example, Firefox, and see if it makes any difference. If it's no difference, then it has to do with the software that drives the video player on said drive in browsers like Internet Explorer and whatnot. And then you have to address like your Flash and whatnot. Seven Shadows says, which do you prefer, Sabertrio or Saberforge? Well, I actually like both companies. They just have excellent products. I just sometimes have a little bit of a hate-love relationship with Saberforge, which I don't have a Sabertrio because so far it has been very pleasant. But I mean, I cannot really choose. It really comes down on designs and whatnot. For example, this is actually a good thing that you bring up, Seven Shadows. So, for example, I've owned a lot of lightsabers, and some of the lightsabers that I've owned have been really high quality, much better than what I'm holding here in my hands. Like internally, much better installed, much better sound cards, much better finish and hilt design and whatnot. But for me, in the end, what makes a good lightsaber is the ones that I really like. And I really like this one. That's why it makes a good lightsaber to me. And if it has some flaws and issues with the soundboard or whatnot, I take it for granted because I'm just a very big fan of the hilt design and how the aesthetics are and how it handles with that Tsuba, etc. That is just my preference. So yeah, there's a lot of things out there on paper and by specs are definitely better, but it still comes down to what my personal preferences are and where I gravitate to. And I feel in those cases, I gravitate to individual hilts, independent of which saber company. If that's a Saberforge, a Sabertrio, Vader's Vault, I just like. If I really like the hilt and the lightsaber, I don't really care what brand it is. That is what I felt like over the time doing these kind of lightsaber reviews, that I come back to a certain lightsaber brand that I might not like or not big fan of or have some issues with, simply because I still like that hilt and it feels amazing, it handles amazing to me, and it looks great, and that gravitates me back to set individual lightsaber, for example. I don't know. Yes, Nicholas, I did order the progeny. Progeny. Why? How? Why they call it progeny? Is it? You guys like that name? I like the prodigy. I think it's a good name, the prodigy. But then again, you also have the prodigal son, prodigy, prodigal son, and now prodigy. I hardly can pronounce that word correctly. You should give it another name. Give it a flex, the slim slim flex, or I don't know. It gravitates more toward. It resembles a graph like. So do something with that. Nicholas Leong's asking, is the Sabercore 3.0 worth a buck? That's a good question, and I will have videos coming up for that. But yeah, you guys are live, so I'm gonna give you some information about that. But yes and yes. I gravitate toward yes. The reason for that being it's nice and responsive. Let me turn it off really quick. I mean,
Dark Side Relic.
I set some settings on this soundboard, so it's not the standard settings anymore. Okay, I have a video about the settings, so don't ask me now. I will have it all covered in the video, which will come up soon. But just to show you a little bit about the Sabercore, so just turn it on. It's super responsive. Now I set the clash to be very insensitive for a reason, which I will cover later. So I try to engage it, but I can't. This is not this because the soundboard is bad. It's just I did that on purpose. So let me turn it on, off. Sorry, family is sleeping next door, so I have to be a bit quiet. But yeah, in terms of sensitivity, it feels very familiar. It definitely feels like the new Crystal Shards version 4.0, or the higher Crystal Focus 9, or the Pachstore Asteria soundboard. It's a very sensitive soundboard. It's relatively good at picking small motions. It definitely feels more like an NAC soundboard as well. Like for example, the Igniter R2, which I have owned so far. It's just very sensitive. At the same time, because it's also so sensitive, it has a few downsides because of sensitivity. I don't think it's a particularly good soundboard for spins. Spins just sound really butchered. As soon as you do some turns, the audio is overlapping and it just doesn't sound good. I try to fix that with the settings. Cannot get it done. There's also some interesting thing going on with the clashes. If you set the class sensitivity too high, it engages a class, and in mine it doesn't stop clashing. So like it goes all over the place. It starts clashing like crazy. So I only can fix that by turning off the saber. So in terms of for what I like about the lightsaber is it picking up the motions. So if I just play around with the saber, I want it to be responsive. I don't really care so much about clashes because I'm not doing too much of a dueling with these kind of lightsabers anyway. So from that perspective, it's a nice soundboard. Yeah, it's a good soundboard. You have 3 sound banks that can be configured. A bit tricky if you want to set sound fonts on there that are not from that are not designed for the Sabercore 3.0, because you have to do some tinkering with it, but it's doable. It's doable. And then there's one issue that I don't like, but I fixed that. So more or less is the mute function. There's no mute function. So what I did was I set one of the sound banks, the audio completely off. So that is how I have my mute function now. I sacrifice one sound bank in order to get the mute function, which is, yeah, I'm not super happy with that. But to be honest, I will show you in the review. I'm not very fond of the sit sound fonts. I feel they're a little bit on the weak side. I feel Dark Relic is a good sound font, but the other two, personally, I don't really like them. They sound really muted. They don't really sound like really nice, well-made sound fonts, in my personal opinion. But overall, yeah, it's a nice soundboard. It's on the lighter end, I have to say. It's on the lighter end. It's not as packed full as an crystal charge version 4.0. I don't think so, but it's good enough for me. It's good enough for me. I like it. I like it. Yeah. So give us some feedback because a whole bunch of comments here. Phew. Wow. Sorry. Is okay? We're getting here and getting the silver weather. Okay. Let me see. Let me browse through the questions. We got some answers about the soundboard. So Kobrakai, sorry if I mispronounce your name, is saying, I like the Gladius, but I also am not sure about the Sabercore soundboard reliability-wise. Now, I'm not so sure either, because if you read on the internet, there's definitely some stuff as feedback about the soundboard. Some people have swing issues, some people have issues where the boards keep cutting off. I didn't experience any of that yet. I'm gonna do a lot of playing with this lightsaber, so I will let you know maybe every 2-3 months, like if it's still okay or any issues that I encounter, so you have a little bit of an idea from my point of view how I experienced the soundboard. But so far it worked pretty flawless. So yeah, I can't say too much yet. I didn't have that much touchdown with the soundboard yet to make a decision on that. But I think it might be worth it. It might be worth it. I could definitely gonna put it through paces. But from what I can see now so far from personal experience, that first week, maybe still honeymoon period, but it feels really good. It feels like a good soundboard. Not the best, but yeah, decent enough to enjoy. Then we get some blah blah blah. Salford City said, Joshua, try disable hardware acceleration in the settings in Chrome. You can find the option under advanced settings. Yep, that's the good one. It's next to start Chrome in Ignito mode. It's good for the wife. So you want to try to read your history. Okay, Sulfur also said, I'm not a big fan of the ribbon cable and the USB RCP. I tend to install the version with the onboard micro USB ports so you can plug it in if you need to. But I usually wire standard RCP with a SC with a Sabercore 3.0. Yeah, so one thing I have is the micro USB port. The cable that came with this lightsaber was broken, so that was easy fix. But getting the lightsaber to load it up with the Sabercore software is fine. It just the aesthetics of it, it's a little bit less appealing to me because it falls a little bit out of place, because this is like a high polished chrome stainless steel button, and then this is like a flat yeah, how you say that, brushed finish. So it does not look like the same. Plus I wish it was yeah, I don't know, it feels like it's a little bit of a mix max of two different components together, which it basically is. It just looks a little bit less appealing. If it looks worse than a big recharge port, I don't think so. Not as bad. Luckily no kill key, but from exterior point, I feel like, yeah, there maybe, I don't know, maybe they could make this thing more flush or a bit smaller, fitting into the 12mm port, more flush, and maybe black color to together with the black of the background here. I don't know, but in terms of the soundboard installation, I wouldn't be able to say. That is something that Royston can answer, and he already said he's not a big fan of the ribbon cable that needs to be attached to the soundboard to recharge and access the soundboard. G-Man is asking, do you prefer your new Saberforce Cyphers or your weathered Sabertrio Skylar? It comes down again. I'm biased towards the Saberforce Gladius, so there will be very little lightsabers that can compete on my personal preference on this level. Like no Vader's fault, no other brand, Darth Alice, whatever, could compete with this particular lightsaber. Because I have this bond, and there's a lot of people like this lightsaber for the reason they applied Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO game, and the first lightsaber that you construct in that game as a Jedi is this particular lightsaber, and that is something very special and dear to me. So that's why it's just a nostalgia / personal preference. Oh, there was the burp. There was the burp. So yeah, there's a little amount of lightsabers that can compete on that level. So I would say it's a little bit unfair comparison, but I love both brands. They both, as a Saberforge, I see that Saberforge and Sabertrio have great stuff to offer. John is asking, what's your opinion on the Saberforge using nickel plating on the new sabers, such as the Adept and the new Prodigal Son? Do you think it adds some extra quality? I personally really like it. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna probably not make you happy by saying it. On the Saberforge Adept, I think it looks fitting. It definitely fits. But on the Prodigal Son, I'm sorry, I don't like it. It's my personal taste. I actually gonna get a Saberforge Prodigal Son with the crystal chamber, but I wait till they come with a brush finish, which will come down the road because there will be plenty of people asking for it. But I can also see a lot of people have the appeal towards that nice shiny lightsaber, because I see that often by orders on Vader's Vault sabers. A lot of people actually go for the high polished versions of their hilts. So I can definitely see a lot of people like it. For me, it's personally not my preference, because you can see everything. You can see fingerprints. You can see smudges. And I have sweaty hand palms. I always have sweaty hand palms. I'm like a toad. So it's not going to work out very well for me. Growling Bear, hey, long time no see. How are you doing, Senior Growling Bear? That's a long time that I've seen you. I hope you're doing good. Software setting, I don't 100% believe that the ribbon cable socket is strong enough to stop the ribbon cabling wiggling out during dueling. Had an issue with at least one 12mm USB RCP. Okay, yeah, that might be the case. Maybe the Saber Core 3.0 is not do its construction with that ribbon cable that goes to this recharge ports. It's like a white flat type of cable going to the soundboard. You could, yeah, if you ever open a computer, it looks a little bit, I think you can compare it a little bit like the old floppy disk and the old CD-ROM type of flat cables with the wires in horizontal instead of like twisted. I don't know. I'm not planning to go dueling with the Saber anyway, but I do believe that it could affect the reliability. I've seen it with Vader's Vault sabers, where the battery keeps popping out when you go dueling with it, and then the power disconnects. So definitely dueling is putting a lightsaber to the test, and yeah, some lightsaber and some combinations of soundboards and components are just not that great together and just not lending themselves as a great dueler. Avon said, yo, it's me. Can I ask how to keep the Mitsurugi clean? Yeah, don't I don't know. I don't want to say something dirty. How to get them? Well, with the Mitsurugi, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be a bitch to keep it clean, because it has so many small places, and if you handle it with your hands over time, you get a little bit debris between the small places. You need to get an ear cleaning thing and start cleaning it like that. I did it with some of the sabers in the past, because as soon as you touch the controls a bit, it always leaves some, I don't know, something. I don't know, maybe it's just me, and maybe I'm just a nasty guy, but it becomes a little bit dirty. You get some dust on it, and you know, whatever you have, sand, if you take it out for outdoor play, that saber is really not that easy to keep clean, because there's so many small details that you have to clean it. It's gonna be a bitch. Nick would say, hello Saber World, hello Rebelchumps. Hey, how are you doing, Nick? Hope you have a good evening. Sulphur City founder said, "What? There's a flaw with Vader's Volt Sabers?" Flaw is a big word, but it is not uncommon. I have seen it firsthand, and I have experienced it myself as well. That sometimes the battery goes out of battery a little bit. It's not popping out of the Delrin chassis, because that's not possible, because there's literally no space in the hill to do that. But for some reason, the battery moves a little bit between the contacts of the contacts of the battery holder, and then it disconnects the power to the soundboard, and then the soundboard goes off. I had it a few times. I've seen it on YouTube with other people that were dueling with Vader's Volt Sabers. But that's something I guess you have in general, and I think that's why I kind of like the Sabermacht design. What Sabermacht does is they isolated the battery. So the battery is wired up to a cable that has like a JT connector. They connect it into the hilt, so you can still take out the battery to replace it. But because it's connected to this kind of connector, there's no two metal prongs on the battery holder that you have to take care of, and that can cause disconnects. They did that design on purpose because they experienced the same idea, and their mentality was, by putting the battery with this proprietary cable, it cannot happen. And it's true, it did not happen. We did heavy dueling. Me and Aaron Lynn did some dueling, and of course he won. He beat me quite severely. I had blue bruises everywhere the next day, but it really holds up really well. So maybe at some point we will see something like Sabertrio and other companies where you have a recharge port and a replaceable battery like they have now, but maybe with like a little connector cable that isolates the battery. The downside is you need to purchase those batteries specifically to that Saber company then probably, but it can further eliminate the potential of disconnects of the power to the soundboards. Let me see. More questions. Right now, I wrap it in a towel. Yep, that's good. Yeah, just wrap it up. That's Mitsurugi, and try to clean it like that. But if you do that with a towel, you even can get some of the towel. You get some of those small fabric pieces like hairs and stuff like that going everywhere. Anyway, it is what it is. Ground Bear says, "I'm doing good. I'm follow your Facebook as I know. As person, dude, I finally got a saber. Nice. You got the Corband K4. How's it? It's nice, right? It's also heavy, right? Once you get it, you think, wow, this is a real lightsaber. That thing is it's that's what I like the Corband sabers, because they really give you a sense of lightsaber weight that you expect of a lightsaber. Because this one is nice, but it's a little bit it's light. It's a light lightsaber. It's not as heavy as a Corband K4. And when you hold a heavier lightsaber, it definitely feels like this is how I always imagined a lightsaber. You know, that feeling. That's really good. Kobraki says, I have a feeling that Sabertrio is currently offering the best value for money. Sabers thoughts. I do definitely agree. They have a very good line of lightsabers. I do agree that what you get is really good. They're offering, I mean, very affordable. But Sabertrio is very, very good. Another very good company, of course, is Electrum Saberscraft. Don't rule them out as well. I mean, for a little bit more, you get a full RGB saber with a Bluetooth app that you can install on your iPhone, Android phone, remotely control the soundboard, and setting all kind of stuff. If you really looking, then again, it's also a bit what is value, what is the best value, what's the budget, which we should actually have to ask the question, what is the budget? Because if you really want to have a budget option, you should look at the Pachstore or Wonderforce Dueler. I believe that's $160 for a full RGB lightsaber with the Asteria soundboard, which is very comparable in terms of sensitivity and whatnot, as I just demonstrated on the Sabercore 3.0. I would say in terms of features and options, it might be on par or even better. But I will test it, by the way. I will do a comparison between the Asteria soundboard and the Sabercore 3.0 soundboard. A lot of these videos I already made, so they're already in the queue to be released. But yeah, I mean, you need to always first start with look at budget. What is the actual budget that you want to spend? Um, some more questions, where I'm trying to read through everything here. Whew. Nick is asking, are Vader's Volt enhanced day blades durable for dueling, and do they color smuts on clear blades? Good question. I didn't get one of those yet, so I can't say it yet. I will definitely get a few, because I'm walking a bit behind in doing those kind of reviews in terms of day blades. I've a real strong interest in trying out a purple and a red day blade. For some reason, there's some really big appeal to me to those day blades. So definitely gonna try it out. I have no idea, but I think the coloring is actually on the inside of the hilt versus the outside. I think the outside is just your regular PVC pipe, your regular polycarbonate pipe. I don't think they color the plastic from the outside. I think it's maybe sprayed from the inside. I really don't know. I'm sorry, I have no idea. Never owned one. I do own a photon blade, and that photon stuff is on the inside of the hilt, not on the outside. And then okay, take care, Nicholas. See you. Ivana was asking, I'm more curious about how to keep it clean, as in the finish of the hilt and display and trooping hilt. Oh, and have you seen the kyberlight or ripper blade drama? Yes, actually, I made a video about it, about the kyberlight drama. I will talk about that in a bit. Yeah, keeping your lightsaber clean, well, you're also gonna handle it a lot. It's gonna mean you have to keep cleaning it a lot. So like, you can also leave it on and then get natural weathering. But I guess you don't want that. In that case, yeah, what I do is meticulous with the ear watts. I'm cleaning it. Like, I use these small things and clean it and blow it. That's how I clean my lightsabers. I'm very, very strict about keeping them pristine clean. Super annoying. John is saying, do you think the Ultrasaber Sentinel version 4 would make a good first stunt saber? Welcome chat's opinion as well. Yeah, the Ultrasaber, actually every Ultrasaber's saber is a good choice as a first lightsaber. As a empty hilt or stunt saber, as a first saber, I would say, just with Ultrasabers, like any company, first touch the water. Start with a cheap offering. If you like what you got, take it a step further. If that's with Ultrasabers or another company, that really doesn't matter. But just start with an inexpensive stunt saber. That's how I started, because you might not get satisfied enough. Like, if you get one and from the start you think, well, I don't know, it's kind of cool, but it may be not my thing on the long run. At least you didn't waste a lot of money, because probably we have had hobbies in the past where we just sunk in a lot of money and then we got out of the hobby, and in the end we didn't got that much satisfaction from it. So just take it carefully. Just take your first step. Start with a cheap Ultrasabers. I think a Sentinel version 4 will be a good choice. It's not a long hilt, so there's a good size. It's a pretty neat one. So I think that's a good choice, yes. G-Man is last. Oh, God. I need to keep up here, guys. I need to talk faster. G-Man, last question, promise. You made me a believer in the Saberforge Cyphers with the Stingray wrap and a badass tribute to the Old Republic. Would you recommend mint green or lime green blade color? Ooh, I love my lime green, dude. I love the lime greens from Saberforge. That color is definitely gonna pop. It's a little bit less bright because they use a mixture of amber and green. So if you want to have a brighter color, go for the mint green, because that's a combination of green and blue, and that's the brightest option of the two. I'm more towards the lime green, Ashra Bridger type of limeish green. That is my preferred way, but it's a bit less bright. Definitely don't take it in a Saberforge thin neck, but since you're gonna go put it in the Saberforge Cyphers, that will be perfectly fine. But in a thin neck you will lose a little bit too much of the brightness. I'm gonna bit down in the chat, so let me see. We got some more questions on the bottom. Chris Cloud said, "Hey Rebelchumps, are you going to jump on the Vapont Armory run?" Yes, maybe. Yes, maybe not. I'm not sure yet. It all depends on what I have available in financial. So I might definitely run on it, and I might have to see how expensive it will be. But I have a good feeling, as in a very strong feeling, that I'm very sure gonna get onto the run and set some funding on side, because I'm really interested in getting a couple of fields from them. They come out with really awesome stuff. Let's see, with more questions. Nick says, also, does anyone know the difference between Vader's Vault Dayblades and Vader's Vault Enhanced Dayblades? Yes, the Enhanced Dayblades actually contain the photon material, so that should give you a little bit more photon brightness. In theory, I don't know if it's worth the money or not. I didn't try it, so I can't say it yet. Sorry. Oh, nice. Got another one for the midnight. This is all transparent one. I don't know what that is. Yes, just I think you need to check your Flash player. I think something's wrong there with it. Legere Artik. Sorry, my French is not very good. Saying, I like your hairstyle. Thank you. It's summer. It's got so long. And I like to go skate in the skate park, and every time I got the hair in my eyes and I try to do a grind, and I'm like this, well, approaching a lash to do a grind, like it doesn't work. And I tied it up, and it's just a mess. So this is much better. Joshua said Windows 10 does that auto. I checked low, but damn, good suggestion. Yeah, if it's Windows 10, it might also be your video card driver, for that matter. Maybe your video card driver is having some issues, but normally it's has to do something with Flash, I would imagine. Nick says, is there something wrong with my video? What's wrong with my video? Is something wrong with my video? Let me know. Okay. That's funny. Joshua can hear us now, but you cannot see us. Oh, that's interesting. Don't know what it is, dude. Sorry. John said, if you're looking at the depth on the Saberforge website, the Chrome looks gold and it's pretty hilarious. Yeah, that's just sometimes with these pictures of a product, it's a little bit misleading because the lighting looks different than the actual product. But I have to say, it's chrome plated, but it's not completely like the silver shiny color. It has a little bit of a yellow undertone to it, so it looks like they dipped like a certain metal into like a bath of I don't know how to call that silver stuff. I don't know how to call that stuff. That silver stuff, and it left a little bit of that. The color shines a bit through it, so I wouldn't say it's pure silver color. So like it's not like this, like this. You can see there's a little bit of a discolorization shining through it. It's weird to explain what I mean, but it has a tint of another yellowish goldish color to it. Very faint, but I can see it. Oh yeah, so guys, I heard, Jordan Mall. So I heard you guys having so some of you guys started to get back refunds in terms of money, and some of them actually started to receive their sabers back. I heard already dramas about people getting the wrong hilts back, different models, different years of hilts. For example, somebody had with an was that Force FX Darth Maul lightsaber. He got a newer version, which is not as nice and good as the older version apparently, and then some people got a different Graflex 2.5 kit than they sent, and as like a drama, a lot of drama still with Jordan Mall, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's I really hope that everybody's gonna get fully recovered from Jordan Mall, get either all their money back as they requested, or get all their parts back as requested. It sucks, but yeah, I already said, like, I don't want to delve too much in it anymore. I know you guys are here who are victimized by him. But yeah, we're now in a process. He's aware of it. I think he really got scared by the fact that there would be a lot of people actually want to put him in front of a courthouse. So I think that that's gonna help you guys. Hopefully, you get the money or whatever you requested very soon. And then you can move on and have somebody install it for you, or maybe by now you already lost interest in that particular hilt, and then you might want to let it go or something. I don't know. Hopefully you all guys can get compensated fully. Okay, sorry, G-Man. So Joe, just a quick recap for you. Lime green is a mixture of amber and green, so the brightness is a little bit less because amber is the least brightest color in the color spectrum of lightsabers. For in-hilt lightsabers, I would say the mint green is a combination of blue and green, so that color is definitely brighter. You're gonna notice a difference in brightness. But personally, I like lime green more because I like the color more. It has a more of a warmth to it, a more acidy, warmy green. I like that more than the mint green. But then again, go for what you like. If you like mint green more, go for mint green. If you like lime green, go for lime green. It's all personal preference. Yeah, I think it's inevitable with JM that he will get a class act because there's too many people being exposed to this issue with him, that it's taking too long. So, and there's even more people than just on that Facebook group where people gather about being victimized. I think there's a much larger group, is still the silent majority. So that will come out as well at some point, and he's gonna get it in terms of legal action. Yeah, Shuri, here we go. La Jedi a critique. I'm sorry, I really cannot pronounce it. A critique. A critique. A critique. I critique. Is that like I would say, is that like sport related, like acrobatics? I don't know. Arctic. Okay, Le Jedi Arctic. Arctic. Oh, is that is like a relic, like Arctic. It's like old, antique. We say antique. Is that the same? Antique, like old. Antique is a French word. Antique. We use a lot of words in Dutch, which are basically French words, and I use them, and I have no idea those are actually French. Took me long to realize that toilette, like toilet, was a French word. Arctic. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. It can be. It can go Arctic. Maybe the Arctic is also a French name or French word. You don't know anymore. I don't know it anymore. There's so many French words being used everywhere in the world, and it's been bastardized by the Brits and in the US. Okay, nice. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Justice said, "This is the Rebelchumps, bro. We go all over the place." Yay! Actually, I tell you something really funny. If you guys know the Lightsaber Club, which is our Facebook group, I didn't spoke him yet, but one of the moderators, I for some reason, I was on my regular Dutch website for IT tech, and I see this dude with a beard, and I look at this guy with the beard, and I think, nah, that looks so familiar. Is that Mike? Is that Mike from the Lightsaber Club? Is he the moderator from the Lightsaber Club? I was looking at it, nah, it cannot be him. It was for a business trip to to review some phone hardware for some bunch of IT nerds, and I saw some comments in that video, and I saw, hey, that's as a guy with a lightsaber in his hand is an avatar in this picture, and I was clicking on it and think, it's really him. It's really him. How weird. Like, we meet each other through this weird hobby of lightsabers. I'm from Holland. I live in Hong Kong. He's from Belgium. And somehow we meet each other via this whole lightsaber community. And then I find out he's on the same forum as me as well. I'm already since 2002 on that website. And he's there as well. Like, it's a Dutch website. It's like, what the hell? The world is so small. Like, how are the chances? Everything is connected. Yes. It's so weird. So weird. Everything is connected. Very interesting. They actually say, I heard some people say that if you go 5 connections back, so let's say I know a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend. If you go 5 friends in, you always have somebody that, for example, knows, Donald Trump personally, or somebody that knows, I don't know, Janet Jackson personally. It's crazy because it makes sense actually that people are so connected and they have their own connections of friends and friends of friends, that within 5 of those friends shifts you have actually somebody that knows a very famous person. Star Wars Fan says, okay, Star Wars Fan, I'm gonna translate for you guys, says, Goedemiddag, volgens mij ben jij Nederlander of niet? Yes, I am. Actually, he's asked me if I was Dutch, and yes, I am. PewDiePie! Some people asking me, why are you imitating PewDiePie? Why are you using the voice of PewDiePie? But I think it's more of a Dutch people thing, and the accent. For Scandinavian people and West European people like the Dutch and the Belgium, they have more of this harsher accent than the Germans, so it looks more the same. Yes. So we're nice to tune in. Another Dutchie. So yeah, guys, it's gonna be exciting coming few weeks with those Saberforge sabers. Plus, of course, the Electrum Sabercraft lightsaber, the Evo Flex is on its way. Plus, the 7 Chambers Imperial Knight is on the way. Plus, the Sabertrio Aaron is coming very, very soon. There's some touches being done here and there by Sabertrio, because I'm gonna do a live review of something really cool. So just wait for that. So that's it's gonna take up a lot of time from me this coming few weeks, because I really want to make sure the videos are in depth, showing all the details, because I get more and more questions from you guys, like, oh, can you show me this part or that part, or can you show me how this works or that works? So I try to really come up with as much elaborate information as possible, but it's kind of daunting because there's a lot to it. But yeah, it's fun. Yes, sorry, Dutch taking over. I'm sorry. Star Wars Fan is asking, do you like the Bellicos from Ultrasabers? I received it last week. Bellicos, is that not that? Oh yeah, no, that one is nice. Is the black saber, right? It's a fairly long hilt. It looks pretty cool. I was confused with the other hilt that's dubbed the Pepper Shaker. Sorry, I think it has a very similar name. Very unique hilt designs, both of them. Pretty cool. It's a bit longer as a hilt than for me, because I'm more of a small hilt guy, 10 inches, 10 between 10 and 10.5 inches. That's my preferred length. Ooh, that sounds so bad. Never mind. Next question. Yes, I know Sidious Sayers. Why the question? Why the question? Yes, I heard of him. Yes. John Carter says the Sabertrio Arclight Dark Edition with your hand on weathering with a red LED probably gonna be my first dark side saber. What do you guys think? I think it's a good choice. Um, the Acolyte is just a fantastic saber, and what I really like about Sabertrio is that they do the weathering by hand, and that really shows off. And I like that type of weathering compared, for example, I like my Vader's Fold weathering as well, but Vader's Fold uses black and aluminum, and it can wipe off. That weathering you can, when you handle the lightsaber a lot, it actually wears off because it's just a paint on it. And with what Sabertrio do is a lasting weathering technique, so you can handle the lightsaber a lot, and that weathering will look the same. And then, let me see. Joshua saying, Jeroen, we need to do a thing where we all come up with different part of the saber, and then you commission the results and do a video review of it. Yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that. We can mix max some weird ass Saberforge ASP saber or something else, and then have a abominable of a saber, like the weirdest thing ever, and just completely unbeauty and just ridiculous over the top. Probably, knowing you guys, that would be fun. That would be really fun. Sulfur City Foundry says, hi, I just installed one of this evening. Bellicos is pretty cool design. Yeah, guys, if you didn't know yet, Sulfur City Foundry, they actually do saber installations. So if you want to have your saber installed by a reliable sabersmith, go to Royston. He's the man. He does really good job with high quality installation, so he can help you out. Gonna make a video about the Bellicos. Sulfur City, let us show us. We need a video. Okay. With more questions, Legere Artik says, I ordered the Saberforge Heretic in January 29th. I'm a friend, so in 2 months I get it. Yeah. Did you order from the Saberforge website? Because I think that will be correct. Yeah. It take around 3 months from the Saberforge website. How is the import fees for you in France? Are they okay, or is it quite harsh? Do you have a lot of import tax? Because I know in Germany, especially Germany, oh, that's horrible with the battery and stuff like that. It's drama. But in Holland, it's a bit steep. It's a bit steep, quite pricey, the import fees. So more French-speaking people here. Star Wars Fun says, do you have experience building your own saber, repairing it? And as I told, I got the yep. I bought a Emerald saber with premium sound, but my soundboard is connecting to my PC. It does not get doesn't get recognized. That is annoying. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I would say see if you can source somebody else's computer, try it out, so you can ensure the product is good and it's not the computer, or maybe it's just the computer, and then you can isolate it to make it a bit easier. I have a little bit of installing electronics, but I'm not an expert on it. One thing that I have against me is I have no patience. I'm really bad at patience. I want to rush things because I want to see the end result and want to test it. Plus, I don't have the proper tools. So I had like the times that I install stuff was with like 28 gauge wires or 32. No, was that 26 gauge wires, like the thick wires, crap, cheap wires, and then not enough heat shrink, not the right size, a soldering iron with a very fat tip, and it's just messy and blobs of tin everywhere. I just don't have the patience and the small skill sets to do it. It sounds when you do it once, it looks easy, but if you want to do it good and properly, it's not easy. It takes a lot of practice to do it good. It takes a lot of practice, and that is something I don't have because I don't have the money and time and patience to learn it properly. So that's why I rather let somebody else do my installations and my configurations. Then I know that somebody who's who's skilled in it, who have trained a lot on it, have worked a lot with it, can do it. Because if you can do it yourself and save a few dollars, but the results most of the time are not that great. It just takes a lot of experience and a lot of practice. 20% import tax in France. I'm sorry. Almost would do this for you, but I don't want to waste my drink. That's expensive. Yeah, that's the burden of living in Europe. But you will probably treasure a lightsaber twice as hard, because you had to pay for it. So it sucks. But there's some saber companies in Europe. So we have a few in France, we have a few in the UK, and I believe in France there are also some saber companies. I saw there's one is part of a dueling club in France, and there's another saber smith, and it's Avanos or Avanos. He's one of the bigger guys. He's also French. I always see, I have him on my Facebook, and he is always talking in French. I think his name is Avanos. Sorry, let me search his name. I'm really sorry, but he's quite familiar and famous in France as well for his lightsaber commissions. John says, I wish Sabertrio shipping wasn't as so expensive. I guess there's no getting around since they're in Malaysia. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for me it's not too expensive, but for me it's vice versa. Like, for me it's cheap to get it from China and Malaysia and whatnot, and Singapore, but expensive to get it from US, because for anything I get from the US I pay a minimum $60 flat fee. G-Man is asking, if you order from Saberforge Etsy page, can you select a hilt wrap? I do not see an option. No, you need to put it in the notes. So when I ordered this saber from Etsy, and I got it within 4 weeks, so all power to Etsy. I love Etsy. I specified I want a dark side sound fonts, I want a leather wrap. I could even go that far and say I want to have a brass cover tech wheel or black cover tech wheel. I could have put it in there. I forgot to do it. I can also specify the blade length. So if you want to do that, put it all in the description of your order, and you will get it. Yeah, you can try another cable Star Wars. I don't know. It might be a computer though. Okay, we have some feedback there. Software says some of the companies will undervalue the packets if you ask them nicely. Sorry. Help out on import tax. Yeah, that's really good. So I sometimes do that when I sell a secondhand lightsaber, and then, for example, it's a more expensive lightsaber. When I declare the value, what it actually costs, that will really severely impact the receiver. So we made an agreement that I will set the value to a very low amount. It's a bit of a risk for both of us, but since I build a relationship with some repeat buyers that buy my second-hand lightsabers, so I can buy other lightsabers to review, it works works really well, because I sent it as a gift, and then the declared value is like $25. Well, the lightsaber, of course, is way more than that. It's a bit of a risk there. I agree. But then again, I had never had a lightsaber being missed in the mail yet. So it worked out pretty well. But it's a bit of a chance you take there. And some saber smiths and companies are willing to do that for you as a customer. Joshua saying, we should do a thing where you have it shipped to your moderators in the US, then we can mail it to you. May be a way around things. Oh, that would be awesome. Yes, let's sort something out. That would be good. Star Wars fan says, do you pay taxes in Netherlands? You don't. Cheese is the burp, but I mean, I didn't pay any taxes in the Netherlands last week for my saber, but the shipping was around 35 to 40 euro. Okay, that's good. Actually, I've not lived in Holland for the last almost 9 years, so I'm a bit out of touch. But in Hong Kong, the nice thing is we don't have any import tax, and they hardly checked what's in the box, so it's pretty convenient. When I go to Holland, I'm pretty sure they will open it up, they will potentially damage it, and then on top of it charge me another 50 to 100 euro to get import fee out of it. So I don't know. Deviltronics says, Rebel, you should pick up the flagship hilt from KR Sabers. Cheap and awesome, especially with etching. Yeah, I got one of their, actually, I reviewed 2 of their KR Sabers hilts before, and I really want to get that updated KRS4, which is now the flagship hilt. I just need to get time around to do it. I might do it when I go back to Holland, which will be early next year, and then I'm just gonna maybe go over to Call, because the Holland to UK is not that far away, and then just check the guy in person, meet him. That would be really awesome, and then pick him one up fresh from the oven there. That would be my ideal way to do it. So I think I'm gonna hold off till I'm actually back in Holland within let's say 8 or 9 months. No, 9 to 10 months. Okay, take care, Star Wars Fun. Go eat your pizza. Thanks, man. Thanks for subscribing. Take care. Legetic Artika says, the new Saberforge Prodigal Son is an error. In the movie, Luke Skywalker is not nickel chromed. It's a big error from Saberforge, I think. Actually, it's not. The Saberforge Prodigal Son is a inspired hero. It's not an accurate hero. They cannot be accurate because that will be infringing on copyrights, and that's why Saberforge play it safe by having it upskilled. So that's why it's a bit bigger. By 10, Phil Isherwood explained this to me in a while ago, and when we had a chat, he said he specifically needed to skill the entire hill by around 7 to 8%, not only for the electronics. That is just an additional benefit. The upskill is just to make it, according to the US law, different enough that it's not infringing on any copyrights. So it literally had to be a margin different in dimensions, then it was not an exact copy. So that's why he have his own artistic twist to it, so it's not an accurate copy. And I think that's maybe where the whole chromed version comes from, because the original, as you say, the original Last Jedi hero lightsaber is not chromed. That's correct. So it has to also to do with that kind of facts. I'm pretty sure there will be a brushed finish coming out, and if there's no brushed finish coming out, I'm probably gonna get it still that hilt, and then have somebody get the high polish off by brushing it, because I just don't like the high polish. The flagship is the next purchase for Joshua. That's cool. Yeah, exactly. So because Saberforge states they're not affiliated with LucasArts, I even have that as a disclaimer in my YouTube channel as well, just to be safe. I mean, we're still borderline gray area, messing around with the big mouse, and one day or another Disney can just turn around and Mickey Mouse comes with a Glock 19 and shoot me straight in the face, and then I'm for some reason they find that I'm advertising the sale or promoting the sale of lightsabers that are not licensed or something, and then this YouTube channel has to be closed down, or saber makers like Vader's Saberforge may be being chased down by advocates of Disney. So that's why they're not accurate. The bigger companies are not accurate. The Romans props, they are accurate, I think, because they have much smaller footprint or much less known, so they have less financial impact at this point. So I think the first eye the mouse would have is about against Saberforge Ultrasabers, the big ones. Yes, it's basically an updated KRS4. It has now 2 shrouds on both ends, and it looks pretty awesome. I like the old one as well, but they don't make them anymore. The old one was pretty nifty as well. Unfortunately, by the time I wanted to get one, it was already sold out, so I got the KRS3, which was okay, but it was a bit boring, but it was installed by Call himself, so that made it pretty dope. Saberforge leather wraps are as real as Mila Mano, no, Miley Mino, but they're fake. I mean, Pamela Anderson's boobs are as real as Saberforge leather wraps. They're really not real. But they look pretty cool. I think they look good. I think they're nice and shiny. Smell nothing like Steve Irwin. I mean, no, it smells good, and I think it's just some sort of Faux. I don't know, plasticky leather looking stuff. But it's fine. Hey, Dark Krakus, how you doing? How is the Krakus? Actually, I wanted to play some Sea of Thieves today, but I reinstalled my Windows on my computer, and then I realized, where's my Sea of Thieves games? It's nowhere. And I go to the Microsoft Store, and my Sea of Thieves games is gone. So now I'm working on a PayPal dispute because Microsoft is just ignoring all my emails. And I really want to play the game, but I don't want to spend another 50, 60 US dollar, buy the game again, because that's just stupid. I just don't know where the game is. I cannot re-download it. I don't have a download link, have nothing. So I'm like, God, horrible. I want to play and fight the Kraken. But yeah, oh well. Anyway, so I wanna let's into a little bit more about before. Let's, to be honest, in another 15, 20 minutes, I'm gonna end the stream. But I want to talk a little bit about this whole debacle that we've seen now on the on the lightsaber communities regarding kyberlight versus Ripper blades. I mean, I just made a video about it, but it's such a blatant copy of Ripper Blade's blade designs that it's really bad. Like, I think they got so many people that are influential within this community over them, including people that are associated maybe with some of the dueling clubs, etc., that they potentially could make a lot of money from, and they realized that it was over their head. They really should not have touched Ripper Blade's products and blatantly copied it. Now, the problem a little bit is, at the same time, is how can you copyright the shape of a katana blade? You cannot. That is already thousands years old by some Japanese inventors. The same with medieval swords, or those types of pirate swords with the curve in there. I mean, long time existing designs. The same with etching. Like, when is a certain etching design copyrighted to you and nobody else can use it? Really hard. But the problem is, this is the start. This is the base where you have only one person that made acrylic blades from the start by himself, and now we have multiple saber companies picking that up and putting it on the market themselves for a lot cheaper than what he can do on his own. So since this is a start, it's not going to end, it's not going to change. Kyberlight's going to press through. They're gonna pull off a Saberforge and Ultrasabers. They're businessmen, and bottom line is they're gonna look at what they can earn. If they upset some people in the community, I think they're gonna take it for granted, and they're gonna balls to the walls, big boys, spend money, invest it in those blades, and they're gonna sell it. And bottom line will be as well, most people will not give a shit outside of the custom lightsaber community, because they don't know who's Ripper Blades. I don't care. I got this blade for $50. Why would I spend handmade same blades for, I don't know, $200 from this guy Ripper? That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Kyberlight just gonna alter it a little bit and then say, fuck it, we need to sell this. We want to sell this. We're gonna do it. They're not gonna retract that product. Those products are not gonna leave. They're definitely gonna stay. They alternate a bit, and they will ultimately satisfy nobody, but just gonna push it through. That's my idea. Can you check my before last video? I built my 2 lightsabers with Lego. No worries, Legend. I will do that in a bit after this live stream. Sounds interesting. That's cool. I like to see that. The Deviltronic says the kyberlight etching is inferior to Ripper blade etching. Not sure if the average consumer will care though. I think the same, dude. I think that's the problem. It's gonna get down to how much it costs, and if it looks close enough, it's good enough. And a good example is the Saberforge Prodigal Son. It's close enough, money wise, is good compared to, let's say, an Empty Hills from boop, 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 Romance Props or from other companies. It's like, yeah, it's close enough, it's affordable. So yeah, I mean, we're all guilty of that. We're all guilty of doing that. But seeing it happen firsthand within a small community, that does touch you, and then you realize more like, okay, what I'm actually doing. What kind of effect does it have if I go buy this product from what's much cheaper than the original, or what? How much does that affect? But yeah, in the end, I mean, money is money, and this bottom line, people want to make money, and people want to mostly be conservative and more conscious with the money they spend. So they will spend money where they think it's more affordable, the majority of people. So yeah, interesting what's going to happen. But I'm pretty sure that kyberlight is not going to give it up on this product, and they're going to push it through at some point, and nobody will be just satisfied with the settlements they're going to make. The changes they're going to make will be very minor, and it's just like, yeah, kyberlight just going to pull the plug and isolate them like Ultrasabers from most of the community, and just like, we're going to do our thing, you don't exist for us. So anyway, yeah. Well, let's see. Kyberlight is already pulling Saberforge in terms of banning people from their page that have negative comments. So they're gonna Gestapo that Facebook group, and basically have a razzia, cleaning the streets, everything gone. Yeah, that's those companies. They're managed by people that want to make money. Bottom line, they see big money in this hobby, and there's big money in this hobby still. So I don't know. It's really sucks for Ripper Blades, because I don't think it might be long term working out for him, unless you get a few people and become something like a Vader's Fault. But I don't think just the blades gonna be sufficient. Then he also maybe needs some hilts or lightsaber designs to complement that as a product, to more or less compete with the big ones like Kyberlights, who's just going to invest more money in it and poop out a lot of these cheaper acrylic blades, and going to saturate the market. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm pretty tired now. It's 12:35 here in the evening or morning, depending how you look at it, and I start to really like. So I'm gonna end the stream now, guys. I will be back next week. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna keep this as a weekly live stream. We're gonna chit chat and whatnot. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. And some videos coming up this weekend, so check it out if you're interested. Hopefully you all have a good weekend. And I need to go to sleep now because I'm super tired. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Bye bye. Night night. Bye.